Hi guys, welcome back to another video. This is a little bit unexpected. Wasn't planning on making it, but we're gonna do this video on Burning Man, specifically Burning Man 2023, because it has seemed to turn into a little bit of a disaster. Some news outlets are calling it a national emergency or a national disaster, but it seems some attendees don't really see it that bad. So what's going on at Burning Man exactly? Well, Burning Man is an annual festival that's been held since 1986, so for quite a while, more than 30 years at this point. And this is all about, being in the desert, scantily clad at this point. So you have a lot of half-naked people, more half-naked women than men, by the way. And it's all about, going there, being away from electronics, being away from society, from anything really over the course of an entire week. So typically it is around this time of year because it always ends with Labor Day. And on Labor Day, that's when they typically do the burning of the man, which we'll get to that symbology later on too. Now, this year, it turned into a bit of a muddy disaster. And why is that so? It's because it's in a desert in Nevada, Black Rock City. And whenever rain comes in, that entire desert turns into this, supposedly. Now, this hasn't happened, I think, ever really with Burning Man. So it's been around for more than 30, 35 years. And so this must have been one of the first times it really turned into this mud disaster. Not very pleasant. So for 3 days straight, participants were kind of trapped here, and some were able to escape, but most of them, were kind of just told, okay, everything's being fenced in. You're not allowed to leave. You're not able to go anywhere. So very strange indeed, because the celebrities such as Diplo and Chris Rock were for sure able to escape. Here's an image of Diplo. A fan offered Chris Rock and I a ride out of Burning Man on the back of a pickup truck. Good for you, Diplo. How amazing. So you see his entire crew here. He posted something on TikTok. These are screenshots from his TikTok. So pretty much, I think on like Friday or Saturday, they walked a few miles out, and then the fan was waiting to get them out. Let's quickly go over the Burning Man principles for you to understand why this is hypocrisy at its best. You have 10 principles: radical inclusion, gifting, decommodification, radical self-reliance, radical self-expression, communal effort, civic responsibility, leaving no trace, participation, and number 10, immediacy. So how are you helping with communal effort, civic responsibility, and leaving no trace, Diplo? You're not. You're basically just a hypocrite, as you're standing right here, right there. And this is just a typical celebrity mindset. I do understand that. Burning Man has been receiving a lot of backlash, especially lately, because supposedly only rich people are able to attend. That is not necessarily true. It is very expensive to attend nowadays. I think personally, it's just gotten more and more expensive from 2014 and on. So the original ticket still costs around 400 to 500, but nowadays you're barely able to snag that ticket because the moment they're posted, which I think usually happens around February or March, I'm not 100% sure, the moment they're posted, they're pretty much gone, meaning a lot of people just snatch up tickets and then try to sell them at a much higher price. That's issue number one. Issue number two is, in order to actually attend, you need to, because a lot of people don't live there, you need to buy your plane ticket over there. You need to lug all of your supplies and carry on, or just like you need to rent a car to drive over there to lug it over there, especially if you're part of a camp. You need to build up all these constructs, right? Like the art constructs that they have, everything else. So it does take a lot of effort, and it can take a lot of money to get over there. I once estimated if I had wanted to attend in 2018, it would have cost me anywhere from like 4 to 6,000 just to attend last minute at one point. And I was like, you know what? For that type of money, I'd rather just go somewhere else and have a proper vacation instead of being in the desert for an entire week with hypocritical people who aren't really real burners. I mean, there are a whole bunch of real burners there, don't get me wrong, But I do think there are a lot of people who are just like these celebrities, they don't really understand Burning Man or the core essence of it. They're just there for the fun. They do glamping. Like, what does glamping have to do with the original spirit of Burning Man? Not much. Anyhow, rant over. So this is what's going on in Burning Man. Of course, it's horrible for the people. I mean, some people are making fun that, it's not horrible for them. They can still leave at one point. I do understand that too, but it's not great. You spent that much money. Some people really saved up for it for a few years, supposedly. You spent that much money to be there, to have the time of your life. And then this image is not from Burning Man, by the way, but I thought it was so funny. So I posted it on my social media. I think it's somewhere in the Mexico desert. It's like a Jeep stuck in the mud. So, people are kind of not having a great time. And then I received this one comment on my Instagram where a person's saying, "You think the rain was an accident? Have we heard the truth? A friend of mine was doing a live feed and his feed just ended. Haven't heard anything since. Kind of makes you wonder what's really going on. I heard a lot of people are getting really sick. Something else is going on there." And then I went on TikTok, which at this point seems to be, well, the outlet where most people are actually posting on Burning Man. And people were talking about Ebola and getting really, really sick at Burning Man, and how FEMA was fencing it all in and no one was able to leave, which also makes me wonder, how is DIP SHIT being able to leave with Chris Rock? Like, how are these clowns able to leave, but no one else was really able to leave, unless I guess everyone just kind of walked out in that case. So strange. And then some people were really, really ill, not really sure what's going on. We probably won't know what's really going on until it's all over. People come back and are able to explain themselves and what really happened in their story. So at this point, we can only go by whenever they have Wi-Fi, whenever they actually have an internet connection out there into the desert, they're posting. So we can go by what they're posting. There are some videos on how people are just making the best of it and having a lot of fun in the mud, or at least, trying to make the best out of it, which that's a true burner spirit. I do have to give them that much. But on the other hand, it must be really gross, because at one point the bathrooms, like the porta potties, were closed down. So where are these people doing their business? Are they doing it in the mud? Are you actually walking through feces and urine, things you don't really want to think about, really? But there was another video where a woman posted, and this is already a few years ago, how everything is just kind of gross over there. There's no real showers and everything. And of course, you can't really expect like luxury showers in the middle of the desert, but how everything was kind of just like in homeless encampment, and our people were paying thousands of dollars to attend, when literally you can just walk down Skid Row in LA and have pretty much the same experience. So there is a lot of hate thrown towards Burning Man, which I understand both sides. I personally have not attended Burning Man, and I'm not sure I ever really want to. Just because the entire tech industry is taking the burning scene over. But I am here in New York City, and you do have a lot of burners here. And I do have to say, I have attended a few smaller burner festivals here. There's something cool about it, but unfortunately, a lot of like richer kids or like celebrity kids or just like the tech industry have ruined a lot of what the original vibe of a Burning Man festival or like a burner festival really was. I do have to say that too. And so that's an issue. Another issue I have with the entire burner scene, especially from 2020 on, is they were the ones that really reinforced, whatever, let's just say, the mandates were. And so I was like, okay, so you're burners, you're supposedly hippies, and you're not free, you're not radical self-expressed. You're basically just sheeplet following this agenda and other agendas. And then a third problem I really have is that the symbology that you find with a lot of burner groups, especially here, but pretty much all over, because they're all connected. The Burning Man scene here in New York is connected to the one in Miami. It's connected to the one in Austin. It's connected to the one in Louisiana, New Orleans. It's connected to the one in San Francisco. It's connected to the one in LA. And those are like the major hubs where you find burners. Obviously, nowadays, you're going to find them everywhere. Like they used to have burner festivals in Delaware and Maryland, pretty much everywhere. Anyhow, the main issue that I have is that you find Freemasonic and Masonic symbology in their groups. One of the groups here even calls themselves cult, like they have a name in front of the cult. And I'm like, are you even joking? Are you kidding? Like you're putting the word cult in there. And I know some of them do it for fun, but I'm just like, no, you're putting a spell on people. And then they literally posted this as one of their event posters, you know, like the most Masonic symbology ever, the darkest symbology ever. Once again, they thought they were doing it for fun, but I'm not so sure anymore. So also with this entire burning the man, another person was saying, okay, so we can't do the burning of the man right now. So they wanted to do it originally on Sunday, but because of the rain, they were unable to do it. The burning of the man happens as a highlight of Burning Man. That's where Burning Man, the actual name, comes from. And then they also have tearing down the Tower of Babel. And when I heard that, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? And you literally want to attend a festival like that in the desert, middle of nowhere, that's being weather manipulated at this point. And FEMA has fenced you in for 3 full days. You can't even escape. Like, are people really not getting the entire symbology behind it? Now, I'm not saying that regular burners or regular whoever even attends at this point really understand that there's a darker symbology behind it, but you know, it's all just meant to hypnotize you to a certain degree or another, is my point, I guess. And the tech industry has taken the entire festival over and the entire burner scene. Like I've seen it here in New York from 2016 and on. A lot of these events and places, they're just really infiltrated. You know, here's another picture of a fine example of a so-called burner here in New York, who basically just looks like she has a devil horns up. And, you know, this is all supposed to be fun, but it's not fun. You know, like I personally have a different understanding of fun when I do dressing up or cosplay. I don't really want to be a devil or some other creature. So very strange how some people define fun in that scene. And I wouldn't be surprised if there are certain rituals and everything, like the burning of the man, that are just kind of meant to keep people even more down during these type of festivals. And at this point, you have 70,000 people attend, meaning you have a huge crowd, which you can really put under a spell and all of that. So, you know, I know there's like a communal thing going on and people are glad to be among like-minded artist friends and all of that. I know all of that too. But on the other hand, at this point, you really have to ask yourself, what type of spells do they put in their crowd and what is really going on when they have Diplo and Chris Rock attending these festivals? Because we all know what type of rituals the Hollywood scene offers, right? Okay, so that's what I had to say on the Burning Man disaster this year. And people wearing plastic bags to wade through the mud. How fun. You spent thousands of dollars to attend this. Yeah, I would be pissed too. So let me know what you think. If you have attended, if you've never attended, what your opinion is. And see you in the next video. Subscribe to this channel. If you're new, there's going to be a lot of fun stuff coming up, digging through all the other agendas, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye, guys. Have a lovely Labor Day weekend or whenever you see it.